Hey everybody, this is Tulip.
And this is Cassidy.
And God's gone and the rules have changed.
We are finally podcasting.
Preacher!
Woo woo.
So this is episode 13 of
13.
season 2.
Yeah,
The
the
season
end
finale.
of the road.
Yeah, and I was looking at the date. It originally aired on September 11th, 2017.
Yeah, well, okay, so did you go back and listen to the podcast before this one?
I listened to most of it.
Okay, so do you want to update our two listeners on how your poor husband is doing?
He's doing great, and he
Okay, good.
actually is retired and having a great time being retired.
Yeah,
So,
because of
um,
course that's why we were 3 months late podcasting then, is because life got in the way and all that sort of jazz. But so here we are 3 months down the road from that.
because then we just decided why not do it as a premiere to the premiere.
Right. So go ahead and stop right now and binge all of season 2 and listen to all of our episodes. Then listen to this episode and you can watch Preacher next week.
April 24th. Where the heck did that come from? June 24th.
June 24th. Sunday.
Jeez.
On that day we rest.
On that day, I work.
Oh no.
I know, right? I work too much.
You do. It's a good thing you mostly love what you do.
Mostly. There are days.
You paid a lot for that degree. You should love it.
Amen, sister. Amen. I was going to swear, but I'll say something else.
Can I get a hallelujah?
So, how did you rate this episode?
Not nearly as high as you.
Okay, I'll tell you mine first since yours
Okay.
wasn't very high.
I'm the downer.
Mine was 4.27 out of 5 resurrected roosters.
Oh, nice. Mine was 3.75 medicinal crack hits. It's medicinal.
That was awesome.
Said the girl who is making a CBD solve right now.
Good for you.
Oh, the stuff works wonders. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, CBD is the non-psychoactive part of the marijuana plant, and it makes an incredible, like basically Asper cream or something. You can put tingly stuff in it, so it's kind of like an icy hot, but oh man, it kills those aches and pains.
And it's not regulated the way that THC is.
No, you can walk into most stores that like head shops and stuff, and I mean it's not a controlled substance of any sort. It's
So
like
there you
Asper
go.
cream for millennials.
It's true.
It is. It's totally true.
So CBD coffee is becoming a thing.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So I actually do have these little pouches that are almost like tobacco, but they're not tobacco. They're like CBD.
So
And
CBD infused coffee is becoming a big thing.
it's an anti-inflammatory, and it is calming or something.
Right, it's supposed to be an anxiolytic. It's supposed to help with anxiety.
There you go. That word. That's why you paid all that money for that degree.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's no crack though. So
It's not. It's
No.
not, Cass. It's definitely not.
no. So
So I have just one set of numbers. So on the same day view, this episode of Preacher got 972,000 same day views. So not quite a million, which is about where it hovered for most of the seasons, right around 1 million.
except for that 1 Million Moms episode.
And the premiere was like 1.8 or 1.6.
God, do you remember that episode was so controversial?
The
How?
the Humperdew episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, I showed part of it to somebody yesterday, and he just laughed. He thought it was so funny.
That was the same episode where like Jesus was having
Yes.
sex with a married woman?
Yes.
God, what What an innocent time. The things we were outraged by 1 year ago.
Right?
Right? Yeah. Like now people wouldn't even take a second look at that.
Now 1 million moms would be like, show us something real.
Right?
Show us something scary.
God, and our main competition on AMC was canceled. Roseanne's gone. Man, what a year.
And we're only halfway through. It is exactly the summer solstice as we are podcasting.
It is the longest day of the year.
And it's raining cats and dogs here.
It is hot as balls here.
Really? Oh, God, I wish I
Yeah.
had your weather.
So like for those of you who don't know, Alaska is ginormous, and Diane and I are actually like 2,000 miles away from each other.
Are we that
And
far away?
we're a 2 hour plane ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like me flying to Seattle. Um, so yeah, it like I'm melting. It's 80 degrees and I'm miserable.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
It's not. There's a reason why I live in the Great White North.
We need to trade houses.
But it is the summer solstice. We will be losing light after today. Winter is
Yes.
coming.
Oh my God. Now it sounds like a bad Game of Thrones ad.
I had to get in my Game of Thrones reference. Oh,
Okay, so the title of this was The End of the Road.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It was,
Yeah.
Angelville and maybe the end of the road for our tulip.
Well, and I think it was, I've got it in my notes, and I'd have to look through, but I think it was Herr Starr who said, oh no, it was Hitler who said it to Eugene. He said that when he took him to the crossing where the ferryman was, he said, this is the end of the road.
I did not catch that.
I caught it last night on my rewatch.
Oh, between his thick German accent and Eugene's slurred words.
Which they were not translating for him this time.
I got subtitles.
Did you? I didn't get
Yeah.
subtitles, huh? I watched it on Amazon. Maybe Amazon was slacking.
Maybe.
Mm,
They deleted the subs folder from their
they
download.
must have.
Oh, so yeah. End of the road.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely think it's the end of the road for our gang in some way, shape, or form.
Right. But have you watched the advertisements for season 3?
Well, yes, and I know that Tulip is in season 3, so we
It-
know what's going to happen.
But there was also a tombstone for her in season 3. Maybe it's a like Jesse's nightmare, like because it's a cross in the Angelville cemetery with Tulip's name on it. Maybe it's just his nightmare, but
Or maybe she was dead and buried and he couldn't stand it any longer and had her resurrected.
I think that's why they're headed there anyway.
Well, yeah, it is, but
Yeah.
maybe he and Cass fight about it. Maybe she gets buried and maybe she gets dug up.
I can totally see that.
Anything is possible.
Or she has to crawl out of her own grave.
Oh. So
That's-
I have a question for you, and this is like way down the road, at the end of the road, but so that chicken is awfully old for
Old.
a chicken.
Yeah.
Do you live forever once you're resurrected by Madame Langelle?
Well, okay, so I'm not an expert on like voodoo or anything like that, but I kind of think that you do. I
And
mean,
not to like cross over our worlds or anything, but does that mean Tulip's gonna be a zombie? Is that a zombie chicken?
so a voodoo zombie is different from our
A Walking Dead zombie.
yeah, a Romero zombie.
Mhm.
They're mindless brain eaters. A voodoo zombie, um,
Is like a living person under control of the voodoo master or a resurrected person.
from what I gather from too much television in my youth, yeah. I keep thinking of like a Tales from the Crypt episode. I think it was Tales from the Crypt. It might have been like a, not Twilight Zone.
Don't you remember The Serpent and the Rainbow?
No. Oh, that movie with one of the Paxton's.
Based on
Pullman.
how, based on an ethnography written by a guy from Harvard.
We might be thinking of I might be thinking of a different movie.
I don't think you are. It was really creepy, and it was about zombie and voodoos, voodoo and
Yeah.
zombies, zombie and voodoos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 So there, it's funny. We've talked about it on The Walking Dead. Mira Grant, who writes the Newsflesh trilogy about zombies, she actually on her website she goes through like I think there's like 5 different types of zombie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and voodoo zombie is one of them.
I need to go to her website.
Yeah. Like there's infection zombie, mythical zombie. There's yeah, and there's traits to all of them. So yeah, voodoo zombie I think is just a resurrected human. They have all of the functionality of a regular human, but they do live forever at the whim of whoever resurrected them.
Well, have you read any of the Laurel K. Hamilton novels?
I have not. I
So her
know with the
zombies are only alive as long as she keeps them out of the grave, but if she keeps them out for too long, they start to rot. So
Oh,
she keeps them alive long enough for whatever purpose and then sends them back to the grave.
interesting.
And hers are sort of voodoo zombies.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think Madame Langelle uh, has the power to resurrect, among other things, and that's how we get Tulip back. But is she the same Tulip?
Well, she
Because
looks like she is, but
there's always a price.
right. There is always a price.
We are wading way into this.
We are. So, just very quickly before we wade too much deeper. So, our writer was Sam Catlin, who is the creator of the series along with Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. Our director was Wayne Yip, who has actually 4 Preacher credits, including 2 upcoming Preacher episodes.
Hmm.
And he's been writing for Into the Badlands, which is one of AMC's other properties,
Oh,
which I haven't really gotten into. I kind of look at it as a necessary evil before Talking Dead. But
well, and he was a director on the show Misfits, which Cassidy.
Cassidy,
Yes.
yes.
And then it looks like a couple episodes of Doctor Who. And so Cloak and Dagger, have you seen anything on this? Heard anything on this?
No, Nick has been taping it, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's actually very, very good.
Oh,
I
good.
think we're 3 episodes in. The third episode is kind of like that was so pointless. So, but it was like pointless middle book. It's showing setup and history and stuff like that. But
Well, I know
it was
Mr. Perch has been talking about it.
I am actually so I'm caught up. I'll have to because it's very rare that I'm caught up on everything that Phil is doing. So I maybe I'll have to go and watch his episodes about Cloak and Dagger because
Yes,
woo,
you will.
and it looks like Wayne Yip has a credit for it. So
So he is in the AMC slash Marvel slash geek universe.
yep, Doctor Who-y, geeky.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I did not have a featured cast. We didn't really have any new featured cast that we could dig into. No pun
So
intended.
I actually did a little digging on young Jesse.
Oh, good for you.
So his name is Will Kindrachuk, I think. Kindrachuk. Uh, and he is a young man of 17. He seems to be, by all accounts, very bright and funny. And he's got very few acting credits to his name. His major one before this, it wasn't his very first one, but his major one before this is 10 episodes of School of Rock, which I'm guessing is based off of the Jack Black movie School of Rock.
I think it is.
Okay, so and that's still going. So I think it's kind of like a mashup of like Glee or High School Musical and School of Rock. The kids like sing and dance and jam out and everything, but it's high school.
Oh, that's
Uh,
fun.
so, and then of course, young Jesse on 4 episodes of Preacher, and I'm guessing that we're going to see more of him as young Jesse.
We must. I think we've seen him once before as young Jesse, haven't we? Was
Was
he
he
in
the
an older episode?
was he in the one, or was that an even younger kid where they pulled him up from the water and was like, "What's your name?"
I'm trying to remember if that was him or not.
He looked so young in
Yeah,
it
I
that
do think it was someone younger.
yeah. So he's in 4 episodes through 2018. So there's a show called Good Girls that looked super funny. It just came out in February. I have not watched it. With Christina Hendricks and Mae Whitman. And he's in 1 episode of that. But he's coming up in a movie called Boy Erased. And he's not the main character, it sounds like, but he's in it. The son of a Baptist preacher is forced to participate in a church-supported gay conversion program.
Oh, that sounds miserable.
So it's a thing that Nicole Kidman and Russell Crowe got together to do, and they are in it, as well as Flea from the Red
Oh,
Hot Chili Peppers.
yeah. Interesting.
Right? So that actually sounds really, really good. That's coming out in September.
Flea is
So
probably going to be the preacher. That would be my guess. That would be right up his alley to do something like that.
it doesn't look like it. So it looks like Joel Egerton is the preacher for it,
Boy, that
and
name rings a bell.
it should.
Why?
Um, so gosh, Red Sparrow, Bright, let's see, what else? What? The Great Gatsby,
Hmm.
Zero Dark 30, Warrior, Animal Kingdom.
So seriously, I haven't watched any of those.
Uh,
Seriously.
and I'm just naming off the big ones that I know: Smokin' Aces, Kinky Boots, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, King Arthur. Yeah, I mean, guy's got a ton of credits. Um, so, and a face you would recognize, but a name that kind of rings a bell.
Okay.
So yeah, it's called Boy Erased, and it seems looks really really good. So he's coming out in that this fall, but um, let's see, I gotta find it now. There was a cute little thing online about him that I screenshotted. Fandom trivia. He knows how to play the guitar and piano. He is in an improv group called The Essentials. He's affiliated with the Moonlight Stage Company in Raleigh, North Carolina. He won Best Performance by a Male at the Junior Theater Festival in 2014. He has a younger sister named Grace. He has 2 dogs. He's an avid Star Wars fan. And yes, he stars in Preacher.
Very cool. As a young
Yeah.
Jesse Custer.
As a young Jesse Custer. And I think that I did spy either on his Instagram or his Twitter that he was, quote unquote, back on set or filming Preacher. So I think he's going to be in an upcoming episode.
Good.
Yeah, so a bright up-and-comer.
Very, very good. And that leads right into my good, which was the young Jesse. I actually, what was that?
We didn't miss a beat.
We didn't miss a beat. So my gospel, my good news was the young Jesse. I really enjoyed him. He was such a huckster, and he was so funny. And
He
then my other half commented on it that flash of anger and then that huge regret about killing the chicken.
Oh, can you just imagine the feeling, the anxiety in his chest when he was running down that road with the chicken in his bag,
It
wanting to
was
save
so well played.
it? It was.
I really enjoyed it tremendously. And I thought that he captured Jesse's cockiness really, really well.
Oh, definitely. I loved it when he like you might want to check them out, officer.
Officer.
Oh, yeah. That was really really good. And like anyone who's ever worked in a touristy kind of venue,
Oh, right.
just you know that feeling that I have to stand here for pictures with people and yeah.
Okay, and I have to say, I thought it was an intentional choice, an intentional irony to have him be the chicken killer and to have him wearing his Colonel
Colonel
Sanders
Sanders.
outfit.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. Like when I looked at him, that's immediately what I thought. I was like,
Totally
fancy.
Colonel Sanders.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was small, but that was my good.
Well, my good was big.
Oh, good. Okay, so tell me.
So my gospel was and this was my gospel last time. It was Eugene and Hitler escaping hell. Like
Mm-hmm.
just the continuation of their journey. I absolutely love like their bonding, and that Hitler seems to genuinely want to do something good
Right,
for
you saved
Eugene.
me. You redeemed me. I finally did something good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, just the whole thing, like the ferryman and
Mm-hmm.
his voice was so funny, and the stuff that he said was so
Oh my
funny.
god, that was so funny. It looks like they've been really rough on you down there. No, this was pre. Oh, blankety blank.
And then he's like, "Sorry, I thought that was the horn." He's like, "No, that's actually I don't know what that does." And then them on the shuttle back to town, and Hitler like running away, and Eugene being like, "Oh shoot," only didn't say shoot.
Right.
Like, I kind of released Hitler from hell. What did I do? You know,
And what was that all about? Why did Hitler bail on Eugene?
I don't know. I think he just freaked out. I mean, you've been tortured in hell for the past like
70
70 years.
years?
Yeah. So like, I mean, he knows what a car is. He's seen car, but like all of a sudden to like be running through a crosswalk and have this little red Honda Civic or whatever it was almost hit you, and
It
like
did hit him.
yeah, it did hit him. I'm sorry. And then just freaked out about everything around him, and like,
You don't think he was intentionally trying to give Eugene the slip?
oh, I think so.
Yeah.
But I think that he's probably going to regret it later. I think he's going to be like, I might have needed that dude. Like, I'm not going to assimilate well.
Right. Yes, former genocidal dictator, how do you assimilate?
Yeah, we already got one of those.
Yeah, I was totally thinking that. I wasn't gonna say that, I was totally thinking that. That's hilarious.
I said it. Leave it in. Leave it in.
Oh,
Oh, we're awful.
no, that
No,
was
but
hilarious.
I absolutely love their journey, and I kind of don't want it to be over. I kind of hope that Hitler and Eugene kind of do meet up again. I hate Seth Rogen for making Hitler a sympathetic character,
Right?
but just Eugene, he needs a wingman, and Hitler apparently feels that he needs to redeem himself, or that he can. I'm not here to make that judgment, but I loved everything about their escape. It just, yeah, the continuation of it. I thought it was over when we crawled through the vents in hell, and I laughed today when I was listening to the last episode, and it was my hell was babies, and they found my hell, and so I thought it was over last episode, and to have it to continue this episode and have it to be so funny, and just I loved it.
Well, and the guy who's playing Hitler is hilarious. He is so good in that role.
He is. Like, he's not one I think I would have cast for Hitler, because I always saw Hitler as broader and taller.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe hell makes you smaller. But yeah, he's amazing in that role.
Yeah.
For our purposes.
Yeah, here we go again. We're rhapsodizing about Hitler. How creepy is that? We hate you, Seth Rogen.
It's 2018. Anything could happen. We live on the other side of the looking glass now.
We do.
Yep.
We definitely do.
And I'm glad you're here with me.
Yeah. Well, so what was your Job? What was your bad? Or your tragedy or your travails?
When Cassidy said that there was something he had been wanting to tell Jesse for a long time.
Oh.
And that he hated him. You know how I hate it when Mom and Dad fight, but when Dad and Uncle Cassidy fight is even worse.
Do you think Cass really means it, or do you think he's just overwhelmed by everything that's going on?
I'm not sure. I could not give you a definite yes or no on that. Like, I want to say no, he doesn't mean it, that he's just upset that Tulip's dead and he couldn't save Tulip, and Jesse's been a dick for like the past week or whatever, and he just shoved his father out into the sunlight and killed him and let the dog go. Like, he's had a really bad day, so I'm hoping that he didn't mean it.
Jesse has not been a very nice person for a while now.
I don't know. That came from deep within Cassidy.
Yeah.
So
maybe some of it's just still agony about Tulip too.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty fresh.
Yeah, but also like still wanting to have Tulip as his, know?
Yes, he's still fantasizing about that actively.
Yeah, we certainly saw that.
Yeah.
Glad that was a dream.
More vividly when he's, taking his medicine.
Medicinal hit.
Yep, medicinal crack. Oh, so what was your Job?
My Job was Cassidy having to kill Dennis.
Yeah.
I think it was absolutely the right decision, but I think it really tore Cassidy up.
Yeah. Yeah. That was kind of my revelation. Yeah. That You know what though? Like, I was actually just as upset about him letting Banjo wander off.
Me too. Abandoning the poor dog.
Do that?
He could have at least found him a home.
Okay, don't abandon your dogs or cats.
DoesTheDogDie.com.
Right. The dog didn't, but Dad did.
Well, we're lucky the dog didn't die.
That we know of. But seriously, like, tie him up outside of a veterinarian's office, on a weeknight or something.
Leaving poor little Banjo to wander New Orleans by himself? Not a good plan.
Yeah. No, that's awful.
I agree. So Cass, gets points for killing off Dennis, but gets major subtractions for letting Banjo go.
Yeah, what choice did he have about killing his dad, though? I mean,
I don't think he had a choice, especially when he was... I think just the way he was leering over Tulip's underwear.
Yeah.
I just know that Cassidy felt like Dennis was a danger to Tulip.
And not just Tulip, but others. Of course, I'm sure Cassidy was just thinking of Tulip, but I mean, when you look at it, I mean,
going through the laundry, finding all the bloodstained clothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
finding the vampire smut site on his
Yeah.
laptop, and he was a bad influence on Cassidy. He was like, "You should just take her. That's what we do," you know.
Yes.
And so Cassidy was like, "Okay, I can't say no to drugs, but I can say no to my dad, but only for so long."
No, to
Like,
my kid. That's right. I keep.
oh,
We
yeah,
were
yeah,
saying that he was his dad, but he was his kid.
yeah. I keep,
Yeah.
you know what? I keep doing that.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
it's just so weird.
it's the age thing.
Yeah. Wow. And who wants to be an old vampire anyway? What is this, Bram Stoker's? No, we want to be young and hip like Cassidy. We don't want to be
Right.
Dennis.
Young, hip, and tattooed.
Yeah, that's sexy. No one wants old vampire balls.
He was looking pretty scruffy this episode though. Cass was.
Oh, but that made it all the better. Yeah, I just that like 3 day old stubble
Yeah.
and yeah, the shirt that looks like a couch from the
I was
70s.
gonna say, did you notice he's always wearing something odd? It's always just a little bit off. It's like, okay, my grandma would have worn that T-shirt.
Yeah, or like a sombrero and army pants.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Meanwhile, since we're on the topic of clothes, I loved Tulip's dress that she was
Oh my
shot in.
God, yes, it was adorable.
Oh, impeccable dresser.
And now it's got a big hole in it.
Now it's got a big hole in it. I mean, every woman after puberty can get blood out of anything. Don't mess with this guy.
My God. I can't believe you just said that.
The hole in it, that's just that there's no coming back from that. And it was a through and through.
It was a through and
So
through.
there's 2 holes in it.
Yeah. She could cut it out. You know, she could make a cutout.
Oh, it could be a crop top.
Totally.
Yeah.
She's got
it
the
could
body
be
for it. A crop top and a skirt.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. Solving the world's fashion problems one episode at a time.
One vampire at a time.
One bullet hole at a time. Oh.
So your revelation was Dennis then?
Yeah, my revelation was Dennis and how it's so tragic. He had to kill his own son, not his dad, his son.
Right.
But he really didn't have a choice, you know? But what an awful way to do it. I mean, the screaming and the burning and the shattered glass and, you know, I'm sure he's seen worse. But
How else do you think you should have done it? Just staked him, or?
does that work?
I
in
was
this
just gonna say,
universe?
does staking even work? Because we've never seen it.
Beheading, maybe?
Cassidy's the only vampire that we've really dealt with in this universe aside from Dennis, so
I'm sure Tulip has a battle axe handy somewhere.
I'm sure she does.
Yeah, like, yeah, it was tragic but necessary, and it also furthered our storyline without having to drag Dennis along
Mm-hmm.
and keep an eye on him. So,
And keep an eye on poor Banjo.
oh, why? Was it a reminder of Dennis? Is that why we had to let him go? Because
No, I
like,
think he just didn't want the responsibility.
he's just a little dog. It
I
doesn't take that
know.
much.
I know, he would have fit in the overhead bin, and then he would have smothered, and it would have been horrible.
Trust me, as someone who has 2 extra 75-pound dogs in her house this week, a little dog is no problem.
Right?
Yeah, no. You don't even need to take them outside. You can get this little potty patch thing off of Amazon. Don't even gotta take them for walks. They're basically litter box trained.
Obviously, one of us needs Banjo.
Yes, I will take Banjo.
Well, my revelation was Tulip's death, just because it was so shocking. I mean, the first time I watched this, you remember, because we were getting ready to podcast it, I was like, I can't. I need time to absorb it. I just need time to watch it again and absorb it. I can't. I can't.
Yeah. And it's so funny because when we podcasted our last podcast 3 months late, neither of us had watched the last episode. We had been good.
And we hadn't gotten spoiled either.
Yeah, that's amazing.
We were quite good.
Yeah, and then we watched it and we were like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
So,
So tiptoeing into the word, what do you have just as far as notes, as things you want to talk about as far as the episode goes?
um, wow, I really didn't have that much. I think we covered a lot of it in the beginning because I was gonna mention how old that dang chicken was.
Well, so I want to know why the word doesn't work for Jesse. He tried using it twice and it didn't work.
I think it goes back to him having 1% less soul.
Okay, so I think you're totally right about the soul because Hair Star actually says to him, "Come back when you want your soul."
Right,
But
right.
he's been without part of his soul for a while now, and the word has worked on other people.
Not so well. Remember, we were saying on one of the episodes that he had to tell somebody something twice for it to work? It's like it's weakening. The longer he goes whole soul, it's weakened.
You think?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think that's why it is. I think there's got to be more to it than that.
Think so? What do you
Yeah.
what would it be?
I don't know. You solved stuff last time. You solved the whole soul enigma. I was figuring you'd have an answer for this.
Um God, if we keep dropping out, I keep getting a poor network connection on.
Yeah, it's. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's the rain that we're having here, but we're hanging in there. I'm catching most of what you're saying.
Or it's like the 80-degree heat wave here.
It's probably the rainstorm.
Yeah, probably.
So I
Ugh.
also laughed at the oh, Kimmel's people. They wanted to put you on after Kylie Jenner.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
I wouldn't want to follow Kylie. That would be humiliating.
It would be insulting, especially the
Eh,
Messiah.
Yeah, right? Oh, no thanks. So I think that Tulip has to come back. One, because we kind of see a lot of her in the scenes from the upcoming season.
Right, in the previews, yeah.
But her star was all come back when you want your soul. And then she goes into Miss Featherstone's and Hoover's
And
apartment.
finds the soul book.
Right, the
Yes.
manual. So
Yes.
that I think that's gonna click somewhere in the future with her and Jesse that they need to get his soul back into him and that Featherstone had the manual and yeah. Yep.
Yeah, nothing is by accident.
It's not. I don't think that was a plot device to find the screwdriver with the sticky glue stuff on it.
It was helpful, but it wasn't the ultimate reason we were there.
Nope.
Yeah.
I can't believe she brought a screwdriver to a gunfight.
In fairness, I don't think she was sure that she was going to a gunfight, so a screwdriver was the best she could do in a pinch.
She's had her suspicions, and
She has.
it surprises me that Tulip isn't always armed. You know?
I think that's fair. I agree. She was getting ready to go to the airport, though. You can't really be packing heat at the airport. You
Very
also
true.
can't pack a huge bottle of vodka in your bag at the airport. Sorry. How was she going to get that through without throwing it away?
I think that was for her and Cassidy on the way.
Oh, okay.
Because she had all those bottles of sunscreen, and you can't take those through TSA either.
Good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't think they originally meant to go to the airport. I think they were driving to the beach.
Well, no, they were going to Bimini, which is an island.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so it was just a bad plot device on Sam Catlin's part.
So was the sunblock for Cassidy? Does that work for him?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've worn really
So
high
basic.
proof sunscreen like that. I am not a 119-year-old Irish vampire, and I still get burned.
Yeah. Huh.
But I
Because that was a
did.
lot of sun.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, that was a lot of sunblock just for her.
But I did think that the racist clerk was pretty awful.
That was
Oh
really
my
funny.
god. And I loved it when she pulled him up against the glass and beat the tar out of him. That was really awesome.
So why do you think the shoplifter lady declined the money?
Well, I think that I think she was really making a comment on Tulip is more horrible than she was. And Tulip was like, what, now
Oh,
I'm
really?
the bad guy?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, if I'm having to shoplift toilet paper in my baby stroller, I'm taking the money.
Was it toilet paper or was diapers? I thought it was
Oh,
diapers.
it might have been diapers. Yeah.
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 Nonetheless, yeah,
You should have
taking the money.
taken the money. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just kind of a final insult to Tulip, too, to have her be like, no, you're way worse than I am.
Yeah. But she's not.
No, she's Tulip. She's wonderful.
Oh.
What else? I think we really have talked about pretty much everything. I did love that they had the ferryman Charon.
Yes.
I thought that was great that he was taking people back and forth between the land of the living and hell.
Yeah, and I love how he's like, this is my jurisdiction.
Yes.
But Guy's not there, so everyone can
The
sort of
rules have
do what they want.
changed.
Yep. Apparently, God is furiously masturbating in a hotel with like beer or Coke or cans or something all around him. I was not the only one that noticed the Vaseline on the nightstand.
Yeah, that was a pretty bizarre and...
Yeah. Yeah. And he sounds like a fluorescent light that's going out.
I just think it's tragic that you're the supreme being and you have to service yourself.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
Maybe he wants to avoid the creation of another Genesis.
Oh, that's very likely. Yeah. Or another Jesus. Or another himself. I'm not quite sure how that all works.
I think it depends on your theology.
None of the above, all of the above. Weird mashup of all of it.
Right.
Little from column A, little from column B.
Just as long as you eliminate some of the Humperdew genetics.
Yeah, no MSG. Oh, yeah, that would be definitely something you'd want to avoid as a Humperdew repeat.
Oh my goodness. I hope we see Humperdew again though. I think we will.
Humperdew 2020.
Humperdew Custer 2020. I would put that bumper sticker on my car.
Jesse would make a good VP. Because, like, they really don't have to do much, right? Like, how much do you see of the VP actually, like, doing stuff? Like, once every 8 months?
But Jesse could run things from behind the curtain.
Definitely.
It would be awesome.
Definitely.
I totally want that bumper sticker now.
That's awesome. Still gotta get the T-shirt made for Seth Rogen. Maybe I'll get him maybe I'll get a Humperdew Custer 2020 bumper sticker.
Oh my god! And we have to send that to him with the T-shirt.
Yep. This is what we do. We just sit up and think of things to send to Seth Rogen.
That's right. That's right. Hey, everybody has to have a hobby.
Yeah. There are worse hobbies to have.
Speaking of... Oh, go ahead.
Especially when you're on medicinal crack.
Speaking of worse hobbies to have, you have some numbers for us. Marnell's Biblical Numerology Corner.
I do. There weren't very many.
Well, and I found two, so I'm wondering if you found the two that I found. So I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, the shuttle from hell.
Oh, no.
Was shuttle 15.
Okay.
So, the first thing, let's see, that comes up is John 15:15. Um, I no longer call you servants because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I have learned from my Father I have made known to you. I don't know.
Now, does that apply to Jesse or and his evolving relationship with Hair Star, or does that apply to Jesse and his friends?
Well, it was on the shuttle back from hell with Eugene and Hitler, so they have kind of a father-son relationship.
They do.
Yeah.
And since Anvil is toast, Sheriff Root's gone.
Yeah. There's Genesis 15. After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abraham in a vision. Fear not, Abraham, I am your shield and the one who will reward you with great abundance. So, there's a lot of 15 in the Bible. We could be here a while.
Any particular significance to the number 15 by itself?
Well, the number 15 in the Bible pictures rest, which comes after deliverance, represented by 14.
So Eugene and Hitler were delivered from hell.
Yeah.
Tulip is going to be delivered from death. We know that.
Hair Star has to deliver a Messiah.
Which, by the way, the whole scene with the nuns and the kids was really pretty funny.
Kind of.
I mean, it was Jesse just beating the living hell out of the quote Armenians. That was really funny.
Yeah, I love the little girl with the fart machine.
Right? That would have been you.
It would have. If you were able to make anybody do anything, what would you do? Make her give my fart machine back. That's super funny. So the only other number of significance that I caught was 32, and the little girl with the fart machine, her biology book was labeled D32.
Oh, I missed that too.
Yeah, but the only 32 I could really come up with was Psalms 32.
Okay.
Blessed is the one whose transgressions are forgiven, whose sins are covered. Blessed is the one whose sins the Lord does not count against them, and those whose spirit is no deceit.
That could be any one of our characters.
Any one of them.
Any one of our three main characters.
Yeah. And maybe Hoover.
Yeah.
He seems like an okay guy.
Hoover is pretty innocent in this whole thing. He just has a terrible, terrible influence in Laura Featherstone.
Yeah, he's in the wrong line of work.
Right. Poor Hoover.
Yeah.
You're out of moisturizer, bitch.
Oh, so funny.
Well, I found two numbers that you didn't find. So the first is that Jesse was young Jesse in
1994.
1994.
Okay, I right before we went to air, I was like, oh crap, I forgot that one.
So I looked at the rules of numerology, and the rules of numerology is that you add all of those numbers together so that they make a single number. And so they add up to 7. And 7 is the thinker, the seeker of truth. It means that you take nothing at face value, and you're always looking for the thing that's hidden, that reality is hidden behind illusions. Which I thought was very appropriate for this whole series.
And this episode, Madame Langelle.
Mm-hmm. And then the other thing was that the cape that Hair Star put Jesse in.
The 17th century fencing cloak?
11th century fencing cloak.
Oh, was it 11th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the significance of 11 is instinctual, dramatic, dynamic, capable, when set on a concrete goal, and it's associated with faith and psychics, which I thought, again, with Madame Langell was
Faith and
appropriate.
psychics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Nicely done.
not so much biblical numerology, but just straight up numerology.
Yeah, the only other number that I came up with was the undercover cop's license plate, but that went nowhere.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it had a Q in the middle.
Maybe we were meant to ignore the cue. Everything's hidden. Nothing is what it seems.
Exactly. Because they settled on that for a while.
They did. I wondered about that as well, but I didn't write it down.
937Q936.
Interesting sequence of numbers too. It makes you wonder, like,
Right.
is there a biblical verse that's like 937, 936 through 37? You know?
Right. Strong Greek 936. Well, there's a 936 Bible Crossing Road in Winchester, Tennessee.
Oh, that's funny. That's got to be what it is.
Oh, so 936, and I'm Basileu, Basileuo with the little thingy over it.
Boy, I have no idea.
Basileu. The short definition is to rule or reign over.
Oh, well, that's appropriate for Jesse.
Yeah, he's the Messiah.
Don't call me that. Well, I
Who
don't.
would you
Oh, go ahead.
who would you rather have, Jesse or Humperdew?
Oh, Jesse. In a
Think so?
heartbeat. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it really wouldn't be Humperdew that would be ruling. I mean, he'd be fun for like 5 days, and then like, I don't know, he'd tweet something horrible to North
I
Korea.
was just going to say, at the risk of being overtly political, aren't we kind of living that right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Humperdew.
Oh, hey, if he's on the show again, if we see him again, he's gonna be the featured cast member unless somebody dies that episode.
Oh, you're
I-
right. We haven't done him.
No, I gotta know that guy now.
Right. Well, there you go. Even if he's not, we do have to do him the honor of making him a featured cast at some point or another.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it would be nice to see what the guy looks like when he's not all humperdewed out. He's the same guy who played Jesus, and he was pretty handsome, if I remember correctly.
Oh my goodness, I did not realize that.
You didn't?
No, I feel so dumb now.
I'm pretty sure it was the same guy.
I'm looking it up. Yes, Tyson Ritter plays Jesus / Humperdew. Oh. Well, I feel stupid now. Good night, everybody.
That's okay. You know what? You solved the mystery of Jesse's soul last time. I'm not holding anything against you.
He looked so insane as Humperdew.
He did.
I think they had prosthetic googly eyes pasted on him.
And they definitely did something with his dentition.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Ooh, he has a hottie McBody.
She's got the hots for the Jesus.
I will get on my... No, we're not going there. It was the title of an episode. I will just say that.
Very good.
May the Lord fill you.
You are so bad.
Hey, I'm not swearing. We're not allowed to swear. I don't know. If you're watching a show called Preacher about the comic book and listening to a podcast, this is not shocking. Nothing is
True.
shocking anymore.
That's very true.
You're not allowed to be shocked or outraged in 2018. I'm sorry. It's just not a thing anymore. It's like avocado toast. We're over it.
I don't know. My medical assistant has just found it. So,
Huh.
she's a kid.
I started adding stuff to mine because I'm bored of it. Fried egg, not Brussels sprouts. What are baby Brussels sprouts?
Baby Brussels sprouts?
The
I
little
don't know.
the little stringy things.
I have no idea.
Yeah, those.
I have a passing acquaintance with vegetables.
That surprises me.
It shouldn't.
So,
Well, I got nothing except we gotta watch Preacher come Sunday.
Sunday.
And I hope they keep it on Sundays, actually. I think it did much better on Sundays.
Yes, absolutely.
They did it a huge disservice by putting it on Mondays.
So we are basically the season break replacement for Fear the Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So it will run June 24th through. Wow, it's a short season.
How many episodes?
Well, 13.
Yeah,
I guess
so
the
same as this.
Yeah, through September 16th.
Oh, so
So-
it's going to run concurrently for about
2 weeks?
3 weeks with Fear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder if it'll be before or after Fear. Considering Fear's ratings, Fear will probably be first.
I hope they keep it on Sunday nights. I hope they don't mess up the viewing and move it in the middle of everything.
Yeah. Yeah. That
'Cause
would be bad.
they did not do the series a service by putting it on Mondays.
No, so far the air dates are pretty consistently 1 week apart. So, up until, oh, hey, look at that. The third to the last episode.
And then they go 8 days apart?
It doesn't say, it just says 2018.
So I bet you they do move it to make room for Fear to come back. All I have to say is they better, and they're probably not going to do a talking preacher.
So we are podcasting way, way late, and by now most of you know what's going on with Chris Hardwick and his ex, and
they tanked talking. They did not air the
Yep.
first episode with Donald Glover.
oh, that's so tragic.
I
All
know.
of this stuff has been pulled from Nerdist. He hasn't tweeted anything other than his denial.
However, did you see that there was that article in People where his wife is coming
Lydia
out
Hearst.
on his
Yeah.
behalf?
Yeah, I messaged that to you and Phil today.
Yeah, I didn't know if that came from you or Phil, so...
Yeah. So it's messy. I support and believe women who feel that they have been victimized, but I don't think that Chris did anything criminal. And yeah, you know what? He was probably a crappy boyfriend when you were 20 years old. So, but life marches on whether you wanted to or not. So
Lord, it sure does.
build a bridge and get over it. No, I really hope that this. I kind of look at it like Camille Nanjiani. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah, we were talking about that last time, how you actually say it, and I think I probably blow it as well.
It was kind of, he had basically what amounts to a bad date, and a girl wrote an article about it, and it was kind of a blip in his career, and so I'm kind of hoping that this is just a blip in Chris Hardwick's career, although, you know, it's not like he needs the money.
No, but we need him on talking.
We do. Nobody is going to replace him on Talking Anything. Talking Dead, Talking Preacher, Talking with Chris Hardwick. I mean, it's just, we were talking about it on the last episode of Biters for Fear the Walking Dead, that you can kill off any main character in any of the shows that we podcast, and you could still have a show. I mean, they've proved it with killing Carl, and they're looking at, killing Andrew Lincoln, and
We're doing something with him, we don't know, but getting rid of him
right.
somehow.
Right, and then, Madison, spoiler alert if you haven't watched that. But, I mean, if there is no Talking without Chris Hardwick.
I completely agree.
I mean, you can't put Yvette Nicole Brown. I think one of the others would be, what is her name? Right now,
Aisha Tyler.
Aisha Tyler, yes.
She's doing a show after Dietland.
Oh.
Which is an AMC property.
Yes. Yes. That looked okay.
Yeah.
It's not high up on my list. But...
It's not high on my binge list either.
Yeah.
Deadwood is next on my binge list.
Yep. Deadwood is definitely there. But yeah. So there probably won't be a Talking Preacher. We will miss you, Chris Hardwick.
We will.
But we will be here to talk about it, even if we're a little late.
That's right. Well, I'm going to try to get this uploaded to Rob tomorrow. And I think we'll probably podcast Preacher the day after it premieres, if that works for you.
Works for me.
All right. Well, little sister.
Till the end of the world.
Till the end of the world.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I left his body